Hello, gorgeous souls. I hope you are having the most amazing day. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how my intuition led me to Sedona, because I think it's honestly the most wildest thing, and that whole experience itself, being in Sedona, being in an actual live event with someone that inspires you, it was such a transformational experience, and I wanted to share it with you guys. First of all, the person that the live event is for, his name is Aaron Daughtry, if I'm pronouncing it right. Aaron Daughtry, and he's a YouTuber that I have been following for, I don't know, the last couple of years now. And, you know, he's just really inspiring. I really like the vibes he gives and the information that he presents with how, you know, how the subconscious mind works and how we can use it to benefit ourselves to create the reality that we want, you know? So yeah, been following him for a couple of years, and the first times I was following him, he was just like making YouTube videos. A lot of people weren't like doing live events after COVID, so it's been a lot of personal development courses that these mindset coaches would be presenting, and I've invested in quite a few of them. I've never invested in Aaron's, but I've invested in some other people's. But I remember telling myself, I'm like, man, it would be so cool to experience these energetic shifts in person, because I'm like, if I can get such transformation from these courses of me like in my own energy by myself, I can only imagine what the shifts would be, what the energy would be if I was live in the same energy as them. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so it's funny because I said this, like, I don't know when I said it. It was like, I don't know, sometime last year. I have no idea. But anyway, Aaron puts out an email, and it's talking about this live event that he's having in Sedona. And it was so funny because the first time I saw the email, I just kind of like brushed it off. Like, I didn't really think about it. I'm like, oh, okay. But then he put up another email like a couple of weeks later talking about it. And that's when it kind of hit me. That's when I started getting that nudge, like, this is something that you should invest in. And I'm like, wait, should I invest in this? And so I'm thinking to myself, like, wait, this is something I want to do. But I'm like, let me ask God for a sign. And so I'm literally like, God, can you give me a sign on whether you think that investing in this live event would be beneficial for me in this moment? And I kid you not, guys, not long after, I see the numbers 777, and that angel number is related to luck and lots of blessings. And so I'm like, is God trying to tell me that there's going to be a lot of luck and blessings because of this live event? And then right after, I get an affirmation on my phone, and it says, I trust my judgment. And I'm like, okay, I'm loving the signs. God has clearly gave me the signs. And so I'm talking through it to my friend Ashley, and I'm telling her about it. I'm like, man, like, I think I want to invest in this, but I'm not really sure. I asked God for some signs, and he gave me the signs, but I'm part of me is still like unsure. And then she she's literally like, girl, the universe is literally screaming at you that this is the most aligned path for you. Like, just go for it. And so as this was happening, I was on my way to Sacramento to visit a good friend, to celebrate his son's birthday. And so as I was talking to Ashley, I'm literally like about to get on a plane. And so in my brain, I'm like, okay, like this is something that I should invest in. But then once I got to Sacramento, it was just like my brain was consumed from the present moment of the birthday party and just like being with my friends. And so I kind of forgot about it until it was like the next morning. But it was only available for like the next day. So by the time I woke up, I literally was like, oh my gosh, like, did I miss the deadline? How much time do I got? All in this rushing energy. And then I saw that I had like 17 hours to go. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'm like, God, can you just give me one more sign and let me know if this is something that I should invest in? And I know God is looking down at me like, girl, do you not remember the sign I gave you yesterday? I gave you 2 and you want more? Like, how many signs do I have to give you? But nonetheless, because of how loving God is, he gives me another sign. I open my phone and I go on YouTube, and the first video that I see is from Aaron, and it's a video from his last live event and how this girl had a breakthrough, because he does like these hot seat coachings, which is basically like he'll pick somebody from the crowd and they'll come up and he's basically like talking through it to them. And these people have been having like some massive shifts. They've been like uncovering like limiting beliefs that they have, and then he's basically like telling them, like having them figure out like, this is not a belief that I want to have, I want to switch it, da 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 da. So I see a clip from there and I'm watching it, and guess how many views it had? 777. Come on. I would be crazy to not follow the nudge, to not follow the signs. God has given me 4 signs at this point. And so I had to talk to myself and be like, okay, all right, let's just do it. And I was like, as I was typing, I could feel the resistance. Like my ego's like, you sure you want to do this? You sure you don't do this? And I'm like, yes, ego, this is something that I want to do, that we got this, we're safe, we're gonna do this. And so I finally made the purchase. I made the investment, and I get the email saying, congrats, you're going to Sedona experience. And so at this point, I think it's like the event is like in a few weeks. So continue on, because there's gonna be some other things that come up between then, that investment, and actually getting to the day of the live event. Good morning, guys. And I just had to tell you guys this because it's a part of the journey, and I don't want to make it seem like it's all sunshine and rainbows when you take these leaps of faith. Taking these leaps of faith oftentimes might have your ego jumping off the rails. Like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? Okay? Because, it's something that's unfamiliar to them. And it's really a leap of faith because I don't know where the money is coming from, but I have immense amount of faith that everything's gonna work out. So that's great, right? But it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's a weird thing because it's like, yes, deep down I have this immense amount of faith, but you know, my ego, it's hard for her to have that type of faith because it's so unfamiliar for her and it's so unsafe for her. So basically when I woke up, I kind of just like was having all of these feelings, like the feelings were kind of in my stomach, and I could literally like sense my ego like being so afraid of the unknown and where the money is coming from, and it's really bugging her out. Okay, but here's the thing. You can do these two ways. You can either, you know, push off your ego and pretend that the fear isn't there. Pretend that they're not afraid of whatever it is that's getting your ego, you know, a little jumpy, if you will. And there's really no benefit from that because that fear is just going to build up more and more and more. And it's never going to really go away. Like, you might think that it's gone away because you're pushing it aside, but it's not. It's really just making your ego even more afraid, and it's gonna just eventually start lashing out and screaming at you until you burst. So that's one way you can do it. Or you can take the time, no matter where you are, like in your day, take the time to pause and just talk to your ego. You know, like, I love talking to my ego because the ego is a part of me. You know, and if someone is a part of me, like, I want to make her feel safe. I want to make her feel at peace. And to make someone feel at peace, you gotta acknowledge what they're feeling. So when I woke up and I was feeling all this fear from my ego about the whole situation, I made sure to acknowledge that I understand why you're feeling this way. You know, this is an investment we've never done before. Like, I'm going to a live event. I've never went to a live event before, like, that's geared towards, you know, personal development. That off the bat is something that's unfamiliar. Usually I've been doing like courses that are self-paced. Second, we don't know where the money is coming from, you know, as far as like paying for the hotel, paying for the rental car, and all that jazz. So that's two big things that, you know, I totally understand why my ego is jumping off the rails. I get it, you know? Anytime when it's the unknown, like, of course my ego is gonna be like, what are you doing? This is so unfamiliar. This is so unsafe. I don't like this. So what I did to calm my ego, because there's a lot of different ways. This is just a way that I felt called to in this moment, because I kind of based it off of how I'm feeling in that day. And after I talked to her and I let her know that it's okay, like, I got you, I kind of like, because my ego is kind of like the little child in me, You know, children are always really scared, but when they have someone that they trust, like letting them know that it's okay, like you are protected, you're like, I love you so much and I will never let anything happen to you, they can feel that and it helps. So I always let my ego know when she's feeling scared that I love you, I got you, and I'm here for you. And just to take it a step further, because I could have stopped there, but I kept going. I was feeling in the moment of doing some tapping, EFT tapping. And if you don't know what that is, put it in the comments and I can make a video about it, maybe. About more about what that is. But it's really easy. And so I did some EFT tapping that was related. The script was based off of fear, since that was the highlight of the day. And so I did the tapping. I did it for 2 rounds. And after I did the 2 rounds, like, I could literally feel the weight of fear being like lifted off of me, and there was like a wave of calmness rushing over me and replacing that fear. And it's hard to explain, but you kind of know, like, it's just a calmness that you feel when you're like, okay, like, she feels safe, she feels good, I can move about my day. But yeah, me and my ego are feeling a lot better now. We're ready to move about the day. And yeah, but like I said, I wanted to put this a part of that, because just because you take that leap of faith, like, that's one step. But then you also this isn't for everyone, but you might have it where the ego steps in and tries to not make you feel guilty for taking that leap of faith, but just make you feel more worried. Like, are you sure that we should have done this? And it's our job as the adult to protect our ego and let her know that it's okay and we love you so much. So yeah, I'll let you know if there's any other updates, and until then, bye. Good morning, guys. We are like about, I think, like a week and a half from my Sedona trip. And if you don't know this already, this is a solo trip, so I'm going by myself, hence the word solo. But this is, I think I just said, it's my first one. I can't remember, but anyway, so I usually am traveling with other people, and usually the people I travel with, they tend to be the ones who are the planners of the trip, like figuring out like where we're gonna stay, you know, the things that we're gonna do, like the car situation, all that jazz. And I'm kind of like the person that just goes with the flow, so I never really plan. But since I'm going to do this by myself, and I need to figure out, okay, like, how much money am I actually going to be spending on this trip? What am I going to need to pay for? Like, I need to set the intention right now. So I literally, when I woke up, I prayed to God. I was like, God, you know, please divinely guide me to where you think I should stay, the type of car that I should have on this trip. Like, I just wanted to be divinely guided the entire time with my decisions. I just wanted it to come from a place from my highest self. And guys, I kid you not, I had got called because I was going to stay at a hotel in Sedona. But then I was looking at the prices and I was like, you know, I can afford this, but I'm not feeling aligned to stay at these hotels. Like, let me look at other things. And then, like, all of a sudden, I was like, wait, why don't I just make this like a camping trip? I can find a nice campsite, and you know, campsites are a lot cheaper than hotels anyway. And I was like, overall, like, forget the price, like, it would just be so fun to make this like a camping experience, especially by myself. And so that's when I started looking up campsites, and I came across this beautiful one, like one that I've never even thought was possible for a camping site. It was like this spiritual retreat. So they do like meditations and yoga, and it's like on this really nice facility, and on a plus, they got bathrooms and showers. And I'm like, you know, that's a luxury when it comes to camping sites, because usually you might get lucky with just like a little bathroom, but a bathroom and a shower, bro, okay. I was like, this sounds just too good to be true. Let me look this up. Let me start scoping it, make sure this joint legit. And it is legit. Like, the reviews are good. There's people who've made YouTube videos on this campsite, and they all loved it. Like, it's family friendly, all types of people. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. And it's donation based. So you really just give what you can, which is really amazing. They recommend $50 a night, which, I mean, honestly, is really freaking good. Like, I have no problem paying that. So I'm gonna be booking it. It's called Camp Avalon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's called Camp Avalon, and I'm so excited to be there. And I just rented my car. Literally, it's crazy because I feel like doing this, like planning out what I'm doing and like estimating like the money, how much money that I'm gonna be potentially spending, it makes the trip a lot more real and honestly a lot more exciting. Because I feel like before I was like excited, but there was like a part of me, like the ego, who was like, like, I don't know if this is good for us, like this doesn't feel safe. But now that I'm like, have a great camping site, have a great car that I'll be in, like, I'm really excited. It's gonna be amazing. So many beautiful hikes that I'll be going on, and I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. So stay tuned, and yeah, I'll keep updating you guys. We are exactly, what day is it? Today is, I don't know what day it is because I've lost track of time, but I know that my Sedona trip is in a few days. It's this week. I leave on Friday, and oh my gosh, do you see this face? This is the face of everything falling into place. So when I booked this trip to Sedona for this live event, I actually had to work that weekend. See that? Had to work. Okay, so my plan originally was, I had a personal emergency. I had one left, and I was going to use that personal emergency because you don't have to tell them like why, like what's your reason for using the personal, you just use it. And so I was like, okay, like regardless, I'm going on this trip, I'm gonna use my personal emergency. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to save it for something else. So I'm like, I wonder like if I can drop it or if someone would pick it up. And I was trying so hard to drop this trip, and it was like just not happening. There were so many reserves. I mean, there were not enough reserves, and it was just not looking likely. And so I posted the trip. And usually when I post my trips, I don't really post them for money. But for this, I was like, okay, I'll put a little change on it, especially because it was like a pretty good trip. It was one of it was a long overnight in Nashville on a Saturday night. So it's like it was something nice and it was easy. And so I was like, okay, I'll put up some money on it. And I even upped the money because someone still hadn't taken it. So I was like, what the heck? And so I'm like, at first, like so focused on trying to get rid of this trip. And then like after like a few days of it just not picking up, I figured, you know what? I'm just going to kind of forget about it. Like, obviously, it's still in the back of my brain, but it's not about to be my sole focused attention anymore. Like, I'm gonna just focus on being me because I knew that either way I'm going on this trip, no matter what, no matter how, it was gonna work out. So anyway, that's when literally today, it was around like 1 p.m. and I was getting ready for my flight, and then I just happened to look on my phone and I get a text from my friend slash coworker, and she's like, you should be able to drop this trip right now. And I'm like, what? So then I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like let me check the reserves, because the night before, last night was drop night for the next month. So I'm like, okay, like let me check. And I look, and all of the reserves were in the positives, which means that you're able to drop the trip. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I like hurried up and just like dropped it, and not even in like 2 minutes, I swear to you not, I look at it and the trip is off my schedule. And I was like literally shook. I was shook because when I tell you, everything was in the negatives, and when it's in the negatives, you can't drop nothing. You can't drop none of the trips off your schedule. So to see it like in the positives, like in the high positives, I was shook because the way this is all happening out, the way this is all turning out to where I didn't even have to use any money. I didn't have to pay anybody any money. I didn't have to use my personal emergency. So I still have one left. When I let go of the how and how it was going to work out, it worked out even better than I pictured it to work out. And I literally spent my whole flight like just smiling because I'm like, I cannot believe this happened. And I like I'm just texting my friend like, oh my gosh, like I'm so grateful for you for texting me, because she did not have to text me. But she seen that and thought of me and was like, let me text my girl Byeeee. And the fact that I seen it, and the reason why I'm also so hype about it, because I ended up telling the person that I was working with, I'm like, yo, I was able to drop my trip.
like everything's in the positives now. And then she's like, what? And mind you, this wasn't even that long after I dropped my trip. She looked, it was maybe like an hour or so, and she looked and things were back down to 0. Like it's almost like freaking magic, like I swear. And I'm like, what? She was like, yo, it's like not in the high positives anymore, like it's at 0. I can't even drop my trip. I was like, what? And I'm like, which made me even more grateful. Like everything is literally working out. Like I'm just, this just gives me even more evidence that this whole trip is God sent. It's God freaking sent, guys. And it makes me even more excited for what is about to come. Like, I'm already hyped and I'm not even there. I cannot wait to continue to update you guys.
Good morning, guys. Today's the day. We are here. We're about to get on a plane. We got our seat. Bro. Stay tuned to hear more about how my solo trip to Sedona went. Bye!